All right, we're here with Swift Jarrett Hurd. 19-0, 13 knockouts, heading into your 20th fight. How do you feel going into this one?
I feel good. I've been training hard, getting prepared, doing everything I need to do for the 25th, and I can't wait.
All right. Would you have imagined where your career is now? So, 3 national televised fights. From the first one on, everybody is looking for you to stay on television. Now you're going into your 4th one, fighting against a guy they feel is a little tougher than everybody you fought so far on national television, which is Tony Harrison. How do you feel going up against him?
Tony here, I feel good. Like you said, 3 national televised fights. None of my opponents was walkovers, and I'm not afraid to take a challenge. I work hard, I train. I know Tony Harris is a tough opponent, and going to this fight, I know I have to put everything together. But me and my camp have been going through, and once the 25th come, I know I'm putting on another show.
Yeah, let's go back a little bit so the fans can understand your journey. We had an earlier interview early on in the year, maybe about a year and a half ago, close to 2-3. I think it's 2015. We had this interview, and we talked about your progression from turning pro up until now. Your coach and yourself had a sit down, and you guys put together a plan. And they said, by what age, if things didn't work out, you were just going to go on and go out and get a job and start living a normal life.
Right.
And right now, it seems like it's not happening. It's not normal anymore. So how do you feel your plan is working out?
It's actually so funny because everything me and my coach, my head trainer Nesto, talked about is happening exactly that way. Back when I was fighting at Rose Cross, the fight wasn't this big. I didn't really see too far into the future because I was so focused on what was going on right now. But he used to tell me things like, your 20th fight, you will be fighting for a world title, and by your 17th fight, you're gonna have to have a step up fight, but you have to go out there and take advantage of the opportunity. All these things we talked about, it did happen, and right now all of it's working in my favor, and I'm gonna continue to keep the wins coming.
All right, we're going to talk to Coach Ernesto. Tell me, how do you keep Jarrett focused? And keeping him on, like you always say, one fight at a time. How do you keep him on that platform,
Well, just a reminder that, this is still the beginning. You haven't achieved what your goals are. And each fight is a progression. And you just have to take one fight at a time. And you in a big fight, you put yourself in a position to move forward, and each fight competition is going to get a little bit harder. So, you have to stay focused, grounded, and humble so you can continue to achieve your goals.
Yeah. How is it making the adjustment from not just boxing anymore, because it's all about business now? How is it for you to make the adjustment on the business side?
Well, on the business side, it's kind of, a little bit odd for me because I really didn't have any much assistance. I kind of been learning on my own. I spoke to some of the coaches from the area. They give you pointers here and there. But I do my homework. I talk to people out of town. I read, and I just educate myself as much as I can about the business, so when I do handle Jarrett's business, I'm ballpark or right on point with it. And as you can see, we have been able to manage his career well. Thank God for that and his blessings to putting us in position to meet the right people that were from out of town. And actually, it's funny, but the guy that actually put us in connection, I still don't know the man. We talk on the phone, but I never met him. I guess, we spoke, and we had a connection, and he put the connection in, and here we are,
And Jarrett, you've been moving up in the ranks. Now you're in the top 10. Actually, I don't even consider top 15 anymore. You're in the top 10 of those guys. And how is it to be one of those fighters, actually to be feared? Not to say nobody won't fight you, but they're questioning themselves if they want to fight you.
It's good, it means I'm doing something right. Like I said, with the fights that I took earlier on, Ernesto put me in fights that were going to help me to be where I'm at today. They wasn't just tomato cans, or I don't like to call them that, because every fight that gets in there, respect them. But guys that I can easily walk through, it was fights that pushed me. So it got me to the point where I'm at now, and that's why when I do get in the ring with the top level fighters, I'm able to perform the way I am. Yeah,
not looking past this fight, but actually this fight is going to put you in a position, and it's still up for grabs of what this fight is going to mean, the day of. So right now we're still waiting on that to find out exactly, the outcome of going into the fight and everything. Right. But with your training and everything, how is that coming? Because it seemed like you're on weight, you know what I'm saying? It's you don't look like you're struggling to make weight. So how do you make that transition from fighting to make the weight to actually feeling normal and feel comfortable trying to get down to weight?
Right. Well, some guys they like to make the weight cut at the last minute or in the last couple of weeks. We do our weight cut a little different. We do it throughout the training camp. That way we can be able to work at around our weight class and feel strong when the fight comes in. And right now, like I said, I'm not too far from my weight. Probably 9-10 pounds. I feel good. Like we working 12 rounds, 45 minutes circuits, and I feel good. Everything's going great so far.
And how do you feel like you're sparring? How's your sparring going? You going to different gyms to get sparring in?
Oh yeah, sparring's going great. We've been working with Eric Walker. If y'all not familiar with him, the babyface assassin, he's the one who beat undefeated Chris Pearson on television a little while back, and he's great. He great work for us. He's showing us a lot of movement and some things that can help me out when the time comes for me to fight Tony Harrison. We also been sparring with Lamont Peterson. My little brother been helping me out. The guys Patrick Vera, Brandon Quarles, the guys here at Hillcrest, Antoine Douglas. He comes up to Hillcrest sometimes to help out, and the sparring been going great.
And especially speaking of Antoine, it's like that's great sparring because you preparing him and he's preparing you actually, because he had a short layoff, actually a little layoff since his last fight. Right. I think he did fight on fight night, I think in DC. I think that fight happened. I'm not sure, but still he has a layoff from his last his title loss. Right. So he's getting prepared. Getting back in stride and everything. But with this fight with Harrison, do you think they're trying to test you and see are you really that guy, or do you think they're testing him to see if is he that one?
I think the odds are all on me because, right now the guys want to see, the public want to see what I'm capable of doing when I do fight a guy that's my size. It's been sometimes I've seen on the internet or seen people say that I haven't been fighting true 154 pounders, and that's I don't get into what all the people saying, but that's something going around that once I fight someone my size, Jarrett gonna have problems, but hopefully, after this fight, I can answer a lot of questions after I do get the victory on 25th, and I just can't wait.
Yeah. And I know a lot of times fighters don't like to call out fighters, and you let your management team, put together fights for you and things like that. But if it was up to you, who would you rather fight?
Between or this period?
Just period. Just in the future or yeah, actually in the future, because you have a fight coming up now, but in the future.
Like I said, whoever got the belts, I'm trying to unify the division. Like I tell everyone, my pants is falling down and I need my belts. So whoever got the belts, if my team and everybody, if it's up to me, I'll fight them all. But it's always a business side, and people want to go the smart way about it. So if my team and them feel like it's a good matchup and the time comes for me to fight them, I'll fight them.
So that's February 25th on Fox Sports.
On Fox.
Oh, that'll be on Fox Television, February 25th on Deontay Wilder card, right? He's fighting on a heavyweight title card. Right. And that's when everybody can tune in. So make sure everybody tune in for that fight. This was Swift Jarrett Hurd, 19-0, 13 knockouts, headed for his 20th win, February 25th. Thanks, Jarrett.
Thank you, Juan.